Welcome to the Employment Wednesday podcast with Yvonne Shabangu. Have you heard of the scripture Hosea 4, verse 6? My people perish because of the lack of knowledge. The same applies to your career. When you don't know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you are likely to make wrong career choices. But worry not. Employment Wednesdays is here for you to offer you all the answers relating to your career and offer you strategies to develop your career. Enjoy.
Hi guys, my name is Nancy, and today we're switching up things. I'm going to be interviewing your host, Yvonne Shabango, on Employment Wednesday. Hi Yvonne,
Hello, Nancy.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Thank you for having me come and interview you and having you on the other side.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, guys, I'm sure most of you know that Yvonne is an attorney and a legal counsel at Legal Wise. And today she's going to tell us a bit more about herself. But before we get to that, I'm going to ask you some icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Okay. So, question one is, what is your biggest guilty pleasure?
Oh, guilty pleasure. Food. Like, I'll just eat myself to sleep. I'll just eat some more cold Coca Cola, ice cream, but just food.
Okay, okay, I know you and food. Okay, how would you describe yourself for someone who doesn't know you, someone who's just coming across your podcast, your YouTube channel? How would you describe yourself?
I'd say I'm an ambivert, but a lot of the people think I'm just extroverted. I think I'm an ambivert because some days I'm a bit toned down, but most of the times I'm talkative, I'm outspoken, I'm very genuine and honest. You would know how I feel about you on onset. I'm not pretentious, I'm bubbly, and I love laughing. Like, I laugh quite a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you had a time machine, where would you go and why?
If I had a time machine, I would go back to 2008. And I'd go back there because I was a child, like December time. I'd go back there because I spent so much time with my siblings. It was Christmas time and it made me happy. I love being around family and having a good time with them. So if I was given another opportunity to spend Christmas with my big family, I think I would do that. And I think the last time was around 2008, 2009. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Talking about that, what you just said, what would be your best favorite childhood moment?
Oh, actually, you actually in it as well. So I'll never forget this one. They actually two, but so one is this one Christmas, right? Because I wouldn't say we were poor, but we didn't have what everybody had over Christmas, right? So I remember on the 31st, you know how midnight everybody gets firecrackers, right? So instead of, we didn't have firecrackers, so we're sabawelling neighbors and stuff like that. What did we do? So my other cousin took a pen, the other one took a teapot, the other one took a letterbox, and we banged those things together at midnight. And my grandmother was livid. Like, why would we take her stuff and do that? But it was fun because we made do what we had. So yeah. I think it lives rent free in my mind. Like, I think about it and I laugh so hard. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, crazy moments.
Yes, time does fly also.
Okay, one last one. Is there a movie that made you cry?
Yes, yes. A lot of them because I'm actually a crier. I cry quite a lot. Any inconvenience, I will cry, right? But there's a movie called The Fault in Our Stars. I don't know if you've watched it before. It's this lady who's got cancer, and then she finds love. They're young, like young adults. She finds love, and then but she doesn't want to go into the relationship with the guy because she knows she's gonna die. And then the guy insisted. Then eventually she died. But the beauty of it all was that that guy got to love her until the last day. And he didn't care whether or not she was going to die because he still loved her so much. And then which other one? But yeah, The Fault in Our Stars has to be the one that keeps me.
Definitely
Yeah.
would watch it. I love movies that make me cry.
Why? Is it because you cry about other stuff as well? You're like, oh, opportunity.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Okay, so now we're gonna go into serious stuff. We're gonna talk about your career, and all the things that inspire you. And my first question for you would be, as a child growing up, did you always know that this is the path that you would take, or it's something that just changed as you grew up, or yeah?
Definitely not. Up until now, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm in this path. I think every day I live on consolation that I know there's a greater calling. I'm called for a greater thing beyond the legal profession, but I don't think this is it, right? I think it was just one of those things whereby, because I'm a believer, whereby God was like, you have to go through this path. I never imagined myself as a lawyer. Primary school, high school, even post, I never thought I'd be a lawyer. I genuinely thought I was going to be an actor or a journalist, something in the creative industry. In terms of law, I'm just taking it as it comes, just to see what God is trying to do with that area of my life. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, other than law, what else would you have loved to do other than acting
Uh-huh.
and journalism?
Lecturing, and it's something that I'm still going to do. Like I think right now in this era, I'm just trying to work on meeting all the requirements of lecturing and stuff like that. But definitely teaching, anything to do with teaching. I love teaching. I love sharing wisdom, knowledge. I would really be at my happiest if I was teaching. I'd also say being a speaker, right? But I feel like I don't like the idea of just wanting to speak without knowledge. So I feel like if I had like a decent career or certain experiences in my life, then I would be able to say, okay, I just want to speak for a living, nothing else. But for now, yeah, lecturing would be like, I think it's my next career stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like you to take me through the journey of after matric applying. Did you try to apply from different universities, or did you just know that this is the university that I'm going to go to, and all of those things?
Okay. So initially, when I applied at UJ because it was close to home. But because my results were so good, for some odd reason, I got called. I got a call from Stellenbosch. I got a call, I think, from the University of Cape Town as well. So I was happy to go try out Stellenbosch, but my high school teacher, metric, advised against it and said, no, but that's too far. You don't have family there and all of that. So then I was like, oh, okay, UJ it is because it's close to everybody else that I know, families around Joburg and all of that. And then, yeah, applied at UJ, got in as part of Orange Carpet. Was so excited because I thought to myself, oh my God, life of my dreams, star student, even though I didn't know what it was gonna take to be a lawyer, right? Because I wasn't so familiar with how I even ended up in law is because my English teacher was like, initially I was going to register for journalism, right? That was what I was going to apply for, a BA in humanities. And then my English teacher was like, no, you can go into law. And then later on, you can like do like your postgrad so that you can venture out into whatever that you want to do. At least law is a decent career, it's a noble career in society. So I was like, okay, sharp, let's go for it. Let's go into law. Got to UJ. It's a beautiful institution, inclusive. I met really amazing people. Although I did have quite a culture shock in terms of like, I went to like a private school, right? In class we're like 27. Now you get to university, there's like 600 of you. And then now in that very same class, you must make friends, you must still have classmates, you must know people. It was a bit like, oh my God, there's so many people, right? So yeah, there was that. But I got along, I rolled with the punches. Some days were better than others, some were not. But really, I wish I had known certain things in university. I was going to have a better experience because I was literally the girl who went to campus, went back to rest. I didn't know that there were other activities because campus has a lot of things. I didn't even know that you could go and apply to be a radio host. Like there's a radio station at the university. That was one of the things I actually wanted to do, radio. Had I known some of the things I knew, I was going to be more intentional,
Yeah.
more deliberate. I was probably going to say, okay, let me apply and be a radio host at campus. And then maybe I was going to start my radio career then, So I feel like it was great. I enjoyed, but I missed out on certain things that would have made me much more in tune with my initial dreams.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, along those lines, would you say, obviously, there were challenges that you faced along this journey?
Yes.
So, would you tell us, like, some of the challenges that you faced along your journey of starting law and, yeah?
So first, I'll start with like the first time I experienced some like withdrawal or some shock or some challenge. Actually, was when so grade 12 we had applied for NSFAS. I didn't apply for any other bursary, which was a dumb move because I had good results. I only applied for NSFAS, which is like a government funding, right? And then NSFAS was replying people late, right? And then I wasn't on the first, second, third list because they usually release lists of people that they are funding, right? So list came out. I wasn't there. I was so stressed. I remember I was telling my then best friend Musa, yo, I don't think I'm gonna have money for fees because also at the time my mom had just had my siblings, so there was so much going on, and I didn't want to be like a burden to say, oh my god, now my parents must come up with like over 40,000 rand to pay my fees and stuff. So I was a bit down, but lucky enough, because I was part of Orange Carpet paid like my first year fees, and then that was sorted. And then NSFAS only responded, I think, in March or April. So that was the first almost hurdle that I faced. And then secondly, when you come from high school where you are top of the class, and you out there getting 90s and 97. When you say you failed, you got like an 85 or 75. Now you get to university, honey, it's like you're fighting to get a 75 because at university level, distinction starts from 75. Now you're fighting to get a 75. You're landing there by 73, 74, and you're like, what's going on, And then now what you deemed as being stupid or not being intelligent is now what you get as a fail. Like you learn, like I remember my first 40%. I was really so shocked. I was like, what? This could never be me. But then you realize that you as you transition in life, you need to change the methods that you use to deal with things. So I realized that I needed to realize that, okay, I'm at university. What was hard work in high school, I need to double that up because now things are tougher. There was that. And then, okay, fine. I actually made the most beautiful friends. I'm still friends with them right now. I didn't have an issue there in terms of friendships. And then there's a saying, but in university, Jolan, but in university Jolani, but I was like in a committed relationship then, so I didn't experience the drama of dating. But people will tell you that in uni Jolani we rest and all of that. So I didn't face any head on that regard. And then in my third year, I think that was like the craziest challenge that I faced. I got involved in a band accident. The doctor tells me that, hey, dude, you might have to like put your studies on hold because like I was not meant to be moving because my wound had to heal. And like if like my left or right leg, all my nerves are bent, right? So my doctor was like, hey, dude, you are not going to have to go to school. You're just going to have to wait for this wound to heal. And then you attend therapy, physiotherapy after that, right? And then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I had to cancel interviews because already I had started applying for articles late. All right. I didn't know about articles, so I started applying late. So when it's raining, it's pouring, it's interview after interview, Ngati Satane was on my neck. And then I get injured. Now I can't walk. So the doctor says you're not allowed to move because so what would happen is each time, because being hurt or at the center of your legs, right? It means when you move, you are disturbing the healing process. So technically I was supposed to stay still, like be on bed rest, right? But me being the stubborn person I am, I was so afraid of being crippled or being disabled because I felt like if I don't move and stay on bed rest, I'm going to like forget how to walk, right? So I would move around a bit. And then I asked my daughter, I'm like, dude, like I can cancel every interview, but I need to go to school. Like I'm on the final leap, like I'm almost there. And then after that, she was like, no, you can try that, but I'm not promising anything. Your wound is gonna take longer to heal. It's supposed to take like at least 6 months. It's going to take over a year, of which she was right. Like I only healed like 10 months in. That's when it completely covered. It was dried. But because I was putting pressure on it, moving around, but at least I can still live to testify that I can walk. I didn't drop out. I finished school on time. And yeah. And then, so biggest challenge comes, I can't get articles. I couldn't walk. I have this huge scar. Now I also have some confidence issues because now I have to change my whole wardrobe. Like I was going through like so much there. And then I had to find a different type of me, accepting me to say, okay, this is where you are now. This is me now. And I remember back then I used to love wearing dresses, like your short dresses, right? And then now I can't stand this massive scar that's on my legs because I'm thinking everybody's staring. And I took it from a negative connotation. Sometimes people are staring because they feel pity for you. But, I was just like, no, everybody's always staring at me. And then I just got to a point where I'm just like always covering my legs. But eventually I got out of that slump. I felt much motivated to, get back into society, move around and just let it go and let it be. Then I was like, okay, let me enroll for my master's. Then I enrolled for my master's. And then when I enrolled for my master's again, I had no funding. So when I had no funding. Okay, I did have a job. I was working as a tutor at the university, but I mean, we were getting paid 5,000 rand. 5,000 rand wouldn't pay for my master's, right? So and then I asked my mom, like, hey dude, I need you to pay for my fees. And then she's like, yo dude, you can see that this little beginnings, I've got twin siblings, right guys? So already that's an expense. So she's like, they're going into school. And I also felt it's a bit selfish that I want to be paid for a master's and they're only going to grade 1. They need to get the best. I already have a degree. So, and then after that, she's like, no, but I can pay for your registration fee and then we'll see how everything else goes. Pay for my registration fee. And for some odd reason, Ford reached out to me. I thought I won a car or something. I'm like, hey, Rawakena driving. Can't I really thought they were going to give me like a 4x4 or something like that, right? So, and then only to realize that that agreement was a bursary agreement. They had picked my name from UJ, external bursary, people that were searching for bursaries, right? So got the agreement, they paid my fees. I don't owe anyone. I don't owe NSFAS. And yeah, I feel like I've faced so many challenges, but all of those challenges, there's always been a way, like the saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Like I've experienced that.
And they've led you to become who you are.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't be seated here. And even Employment Wednesdays was birthed from these challenges, these issues. Because like in between, I can't find articles and I'm like, hey, bo, what's going on? Then I'm like, okay, let's share. Let's go on Instagram. Let's go live. Let's hear what other people have to say. How do other people secure a job? And, when I think about it, it was Instagram lives. And I remember I was just doing lives with you guys. Like, guys, my family is everything. Like, I put them through everything. Like, and
been through the most.
I think I'm even excited that you get to sit here because I know one of the lives we actually did them together. And seeing it go to YouTube, recording from home, and being able to actually make means to come here and sit here, produce better stuff. It's been quite a journey. Challenges are there, but I feel like challenges make us who we are.
True.
Yeah.
Now, Vela, so you already answered some of the questions I was going to ask. My next question was going to be, what inspired you to start Employment Wednesday? And I think you already touched that. I don't know if you have more to add on.
Yeah, I can add on more, right? So, like I said, it came from the thing of not being able to get articles on time. And then also, like my friends, right? They would always say, "Bro, you've got a radio voice, right?" And then I'm like, guys, where is the time to do radios? And then after they're like, no, just start a YouTube channel, right? Then I started the YouTube channel. I tried doing the vlogging thing and it was never going to work. And then I started doing Employment Wednesdays on Instagram lives, right? And then this one day, somebody was like, no, I remember, I think it was a friend from church. Why didn't you move Employment Wednesdays to YouTube, right? And then I'm like, oh, okay, and that person was like, there, at least it stays there longer, it reaches a bigger audience. and a lot more people get to learn. So on Instagram, it may be limited and stuff like that. So I did that, man. It's just also going back to me being a person that loves sharing wisdom, knowledge, and teaching. I think we do better, grow, and learn more when we actually share our knowledge with other people. And now, because we have social media and all of that, I think Employment Wednesdays actually gets to close in the career gap, because on social media we're fed everything, like it's fashion, it's makeup, it's beauty, but it's seldom that you get people that actually speak about their real careers, because many times we limit and reduce people to social media, like, oh, she's a gorgeous girl, but what does she do from 9 to 5? So at least Employment Wednesdays gets to close that gap to say, oh, she's a gorgeous girl, but she has to wake up and go to work, and that's how she ended up being at work, or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
Okay, okay, I hear you, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna go. Now you've started. You've gone through all the challenges and all of that. Now you are in the career. Tell us
Yes.
about your first job.
So the first, do you want the actual job or my first job?
So okay, oh, you've started, right?
Yes.
Obviously, I mean, I've graduated. You have to find a job. Was it in line with what you studied? Was it something different?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I started working when I was 16. Kgale ke phanda, ne? So when I was done graduating, it was never a thing of this is my first job.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I had already been tutoring. I had an experience of signing a contract. I was tutoring for 2 years. I also worked at retail for like a year. And then I also did promotions. I also did, the guys, hey, I'm just realizing now. I did like pamphlet distribution. Like I did quite a lot, ne? But if we're going to look at the first time I got a job like in line with being an attorney,
Yes.
ne, was 2020. It was during COVID. And I think that's the thing. Like my TikTok user is God's favorite kid, ne? Because I feel like sometimes God makes me go through the most, but also he uses me as an example. Because also securing articles mid COVID, where law firms were actually closing down, where businesses were closing down, is quite it's shocking. It's not usual, because you're thinking, oh, it's COVID, businesses are closing down. I actually get articles. So I got VAC work in Cape Town. Then I go to Cape Town, do VAC work. I get selected to start employment in September, because I do have separation anxiety. I was like to my prospective employer, hey, I just need to go like sit down with myself and understand that I need to move to Cape Town. Can I rather start in January instead? Then she was like, okay, no worries, it's fine. You can go back to Joburg, then you plan accordingly. You can start in January, right? Sharp. Come back to Joburg. I had actually an interview. I had interviewed before I left for Cape Town. Then they called me. They're like, hey, Yvonne, would you like to work for us? We've got a spot for you. I'm like, oh, okay, great, because it's closer to home. Then I tell my prospective employer in Cape Town to say, hey, I'm not going to come through anymore. I'm just going to stay in Joburg. And then I go start my new job at a law firm in Parktown, very close to home, walkable. It was fun. It was for a month. But also during COVID, like I did a lot of interviews during COVID, like right when it started, I think in February. Yes, February 2020, I had interviewed at Rams, where I actually did my articles, right? And then they're like, oh, we're going to call you when we move to bigger offices. I thought that was a lie. So I forgot about them. I took other job offers. A year later, 1 month into studying articles at a law firm in Parktown, they called me. They're like, hey, do you have a job? We want you. I'm like, imagine after a whole year. I'm like, I don't have a job. That time I have a job, because I'm like, oh my God, hey, my spot. I'm like, I don't have a job. Then I resigned with immediate effect at my job, and then I started at Rams, and it was great. Like what an experience. Yeah. When I think about it, when you look at your life, in as much as things happen and some of them are very painful and delayed and all of that, but when you look at your life and think, it's so perfect. Like it makes sense. Like the puzzle is complete. The puzzle fits. I went in, did my articles. I was so excited because I remember, so my first day of articles was the day I got my license. right?
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So initially, so I ended my contract end of March. Then I had intentions of resting for a week, right? And then I called my new employer and say, hey, I'll start next week, right? Then they agreed. And then they had a big client and then they had a lot of work to do. They're like, hey, Yvonne, unfortunately, you can't start that other week. Is it possible for you to start on Monday? Then I'm like, yeah, but I have a driver's test, so I'd have to do it after. They're like, okay, sharp, all the best. You can go to your driving and then come back and then start your job. And then I went to do my driver's test and I passed it right then. And I went back and started my new job. And it was so, yeah, it was
Oh,
quite an
that's beautiful.
experience. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, do you mind telling us about your salary at Rems?
Bachung Luna, is that how it feels when people ask you about money? Guys, I won't ask their salary chat anymore because, wow, that was an ambush.
Tell us about your salary.
Guys, Mara, when we
Okay,
said
you can't tell us. Okay, just give us a rough idea.
So okay, let me tell you how my salary was. I don't know about other candidates at REMS. So when I started at REMS, they asked me what my previous employer was
Oh,
paying me. And
okay.
my previous employer was paying me 12,000 at the time, right? And then they were like, okay, we can top it up a bit.
Okay.
Yes. So they topped it up a bit.
Were you happy with the top up?
Well, I would say I was happy, right? And here's why. Um, I didn't have responsibilities like a child, or anything like
Yeah,
that.
some money.
Yes. So it's like 12,000 can seem little to a person that has a lot of responsibility. I still
Yeah.
stay at home. If I'm contributing rent, maybe it's like 2 grand, 3 grand, or electricity. So I still had enough to live my best life, you know? So yeah. In guys, it's I think their salary name might not be maybe compatible with like your big law firms, but it's compatible with medium law firms in Santin. So it's decent.
Okay.
It's not so bad. At least I see 2.5 or
So,
8,000.
bewusinqetshe imali ne? Bewusinqetshe imali. No, I'm joking, man. Okay. I asked this question, for people watching, people in the same career as you when
Yes.
they're starting, so that they have a rough idea how much they could get
Okay,
and all
let
of
me
those
give a
things.
clear answer in that regard, right? And because we have small firms, we have medium firms, we have big firms, right? So as a candidate attorney at a small firm, the LPC or the Law Society is trying to rectify that. I don't know what happened. They were trying to make a minimum of 10,000 rand because apparently there's small law firm that pay people as little as 2,500, right? So at small firms, I would say maybe between 2,500 to 7,500. And also I've heard Huri, there are some medium law firms that actually pay people 7.5 or 8,000 rand. So I'd say small firms, anything 2.5 until 8,000, 9,000, and then medium firms, 6,000 rand to 18,000 rand. And then big law firms, you're looking at 20 grand and above. That's your take home, like after deductions and stuff. So yeah, it depends really on the law firm you apply at. And if you want to apply at big law firms, you need to start as early as your second year. And then medium law firms, some of them don't have like strict structures. You can apply all year round. And then if you want to get a list of law firms in South Africa, you can go on Yellow Pages. Then you get a list in Cape Town, you get a list in Joburg, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, KZN, all of these places. And then you can call them directly or email them. But different law firms pay differently. And also depending on the work that they do, commercial law firms are likely to pay you more. But criminal law firms, hey, we're not sure, So yeah, it really depends.
Okay. So moving on to Employment Wednesday, your baby. Like it's been so beautiful watching this baby grow. Like you
Yeah.
said, it started off as an Instagram thing. I remember every Wednesday we would get statuses, and then I think you interviewed everyone in our family. So now that it's growing, I know you've won an award for this.
Yes.
So now that this baby is growing, what's the vision you have for Employment Wednesday?
I'll just put this so that one day I'll be able to watch it and be able to say, oh, this actually happened. I'd want it to grow more than just a podcast. I'd want it to become like almost an agent, a recruitment agent that connects graduates that are not familiar with what to do with their possible employer, right? So just being a platform that is able to connect people with actual jobs, right? Because it's one thing me interviewing people that have gotten jobs and stuff, but it's actually another me being able to say, oh, actually, Rams is looking for 5 people. Let's help you go into our recruitment database, and then you going to be selected by Rams or whatever company. So I'd really want it to be a recruitment agent eventually. And then also I would really want it to go into have a segment, say a networking segment, right, per se, because I see now we've got a lot of events, right, and most of those events are like about empowerment, their feasts and all of that, but I think they're very limited events that actually cater to careers, that actually cater to one-on-one career growth, career development, right? So I would want it to actually also do that, go into events, workshops at high school level, and also grow into a platform that has a mentorship space as well, to be able to mentor young people, even older ones, depending on what you need and all of that. But yeah, I really want it to grow, and I know that it will grow into that.
Interesting. And I can't wait to see it grow.
I also can't wait. Yeah.
Okay, so wrapping up the career, the studying, what advice would you give to someone who wants to study law, and what advice would you give to someone that wants to start something similar to employment, with not per se employment Wednesday,
Hey,
but they want to start something. Like they want to start something.
Yes.
What's the advice you give?
So that is quite
These days
hilarious.
it's a copy.
Yeah. I'll see someone. Guys, this is trademarked. So you try me. I'm actually gonna come for you in court. So so if you want to start, I'll start with advice to a person that wants to go into a law career. Guys, it's hard. That's just it. I want you to go in there with an open mind. We're not lying when we're saying law is hard, right? And it being hard doesn't mean you cannot do it. And just know that you are going to meet challenges, but those challenges don't define who you are. They're just part of the process. And there's one of the things that my previous principal taught me, like, he never used to shout. He's actually a special shout out to you, Karabo. He never used to shout. He was very calm, intelligent, charismatic. Like, he's just an excellent person, right? And we used to be so shocked at how we can mess up at work, like right now in a meta, and later on would go out for drinks and it's all jolly. And then we'll be like, you're pretentious. And then he's like, no. When we're working, it's nothing personal. I can actually take you to disciplinary hearing right now because you didn't do your job well. I can still take you out for dinner as a team, and not because I'm pretentious or two-faced. Work and who you are separate. And I think many people struggle to separate themselves from work. Many people, when they're not performing in their careers or doing well at work, they think they are terrible and horrible human beings, and they go into a dark place. So I want you to know that things are hard. Law is hard, but it's nothing personal. You are going to get pleadings wrong. You are going to go to the wrong court at some point. You are going to have to beg clerks of the court. You're going to have to make friends and all of that. But it's nothing personal. When things go wrong, it's not a you thing. It's a thing of, let's get the job done. Let's learn how to do the job. And to anyone that wants to start, particularly with content creation, YouTubing, podcasting, guys, sometimes we wait for things to be perfect. things will never be perfect.
I know this one is for me.
Yeah, I'm actually trolling. Like most of the times we actually wait for things to be perfect. But there will never be a right time. You can tell yourself that I'm going to start this podcast when I lose 20 pounds. Honey, what if you gain 50 pounds? So your ideas are going to die and get buried. So just start where you are with what you have, like for instance with content creation, your phone is enough. I have videos, Employment Wednesday videos I shot at home with my phone. They're not as great, but they're out there. I started somewhere. So I think just start somewhere, utilize what you have. And I'll never stress it enough, guys, utilize your friends, your family. I think one of the greatest gifts I've had and why every Wednesday, Employment Wednesdays will always go up unless we're on a season break is because my family, my friends bought into the idea, and before you even sell it to the people outside, give it to your inner circle. And for me, because my family, my friends, my inner circle believe in the vision and the dream and the idea, I'm forced to actually do it even when I don't feel like it, because I know there are people cheering me on. I know there are people that actually push me. I know there are people that actually will call me and say, hey, you didn't upload, what's going on? Or hey, last week was 20 minutes, Kanti, why was next week or the other week 1 hour? That type of thing. So just starting and having a community to hold you accountable. And also, sometimes I know we live in a society where but and stuff. So we're always afraid to share our ideas. But I highly recommend having people to speak to about your ideas because they also help you enhance them. So have that idea, brainstorm it with a friend or family. Sometimes they won't like the idea, but you can still go ahead with your idea anyway, right? But have people that you talk to about your ideas and they will also encourage you to do better. But yeah, just start with what you have.
Just start, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So since we've touched on I think almost
Yes.
everything now I'm going to get personal.
Okay.
I know your birthday is coming up. Your birthday is tomorrow. And I wanted to ask you can I say New Year resolutions? Because it's your New Year.
Yes.
So any birthday resolutions, any New Year resolutions?
With my birthday being tomorrow, one thing that I want to do is teach myself to let go and let loose, right? In that I hoard, like I'm a hoarder, right? I hoard ideas. Sometimes I don't start things, as I was saying, just start. Sometimes I don't start things because I'm holding on. I'm like, if I release it, what if it doesn't do as well as I wanted to do? Or sometimes maybe a person has hurt me. I hold on to the hurt. I'm like, oh my God, you hurt my feelings, blah, 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 blah. And like I just hoard it. So I think one of my biggest resolutions is letting go and letting loose and learning that people are not me, right? And because people are not me, people are allowed, and just give them permission to handle things the way they would like. Because I would say I suffer from a savior crisis. I love saving people. And sometimes you don't allow people to grow or do what they need to do when you just want to run and save them. So I think in this new year, 26, I want to just
Dude, you're just 26.
So I just want to give people permission to just be themselves, handle things the way they would like, and give them room to just be, And I'd also want to pass my bubble. I'm so afraid of not being happy. Like one of my deepest fears is being afraid of not being happy. And I tend to overcompensate. So because I'm afraid of not being happy or being excited or whatever the case may be, right? I then don't allow conflict to take place. Like I want to solve things now, there and there. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and then. But I'm realizing that it's important that you feel the feels. It's important that you allow conflict to happen because it strengthens relationships. And yeah, man, I just want to travel more, and I want to save more, fix my money more, and I want these episodes to be longer in the new year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So birthday wish list. There could be someone listening to the podcast of Funa maybe surprised with something.
Well, guys, buy me equity. And I know this is some type of thing, right? So I just recently, this year, I started investing a lot on easy equities and stuff. And I've been saying sometimes people tend to buy us gifts that wear off or gifts that we never utilize. If you don't know what to do or what to get me, guys, buy me shares. Buy me shares. Buy me, deposit into my easy equity account. But besides that, I'm looking into building a mini gym, a home gym. So I would want a treadmill, like a mini treadmill, that walker thing. Yeah, and then somebody to pay for the whole season, the next season too, to pay for it and just be like, 20 episodes paid for, sponsored.
Ooh,
I'd be happy. Like
I hope you're listening.
I'd really appreciate that. And I like a destination holiday. I'd want to be out of, in an ideal world, I want to be out of the country by tomorrow. By tomorrow, I want to be leaving the country. But even if it doesn't happen tomorrow, but within the month of August, I want to be out of the country. But yeah.
Okay, interesting. I hope you get all of those wishes. Okay, since your birthday is same month as Women's Month, are you attending any Women's Month events that you know of that you can share? Maybe we can also attend.
Well, I haven't thought of the one that I want to attend really exactly, right? But I know that there's quite a lot of them. So if you check, I think there is something happening at the Fortress. I saw Mabutla advertised. I think there's an empowerment event on the 9th of August. But also, you see, the tricky part is on the 9th of August, abantu bazobe besemajwaleni, there's Z Nation. So I don't know really, but there's a lot of events happening on August. In August, if you check on Instagram, if you check, I think there's something happening at the Fortress. And yeah, if you follow people the likes of Abonomdeni, you'd see that they usually host events. And yeah, but I'm not certain which one I'll be attending because remember, I might just leave the country tomorrow. So if it's in September, maybe yes.
Okay. Okay, so because you mentioned something about empowerment, any words of encouragement to empower young women or women?
Be yourself. Do you? Sometimes being ourselves hurt, right? Sometimes being ourselves hurts because we're different. And it hurts also sometimes because it requires a level of vulnerability. It requires a level of honesty and authenticity. And half the time we're afraid to be so authentic, to be vulnerable because we're afraid of the fear of rejection, fear of not being accepted. But be yourself. It'll get to a point where it hurts being yourself. It'll hurt and hurt and hurt. But at some point, it won't hurt being yourself. Being yourself is the best freedom you can ever give yourself because you don't have to switch personalities, right? You hear people ask you, so when you're at home, how do you do this? It's like, I don't have to switch personalities. This is who I am. I laugh as loud as I laugh on this podcast, as loud as I laugh at home. So, and when you honor being yourself or who you are, you actually reach your best potential. You know, you actually grow much better because you are honest to say, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And what do I need to improve this thing? So be yourself. I know sometimes it's really awkward because maybe you feel you're not pretty enough or you're not societal pretty or you're not thin enough, but just walk in every room knowing that you're the best thing that ever happened and knowing that being yourself is your greatest power, and you will see things just start coming up. You'd realize that I know for a fact I struggle a lot when I'm trying to be something that I'm not, but usually when I am myself, things align, things blossom, things progress. So be yourself.
Okay. My words of encouragement would be you can and
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
Baby girl, you can do
Yeah.
it. You can start that business. You can get out of that toxic relationship,
Yeah.
marriage. You can do it and still be fine. So just trust yourself and always know you can. And yeah. Okay, so closing up, what since today was the last episode for season one, and it's been amazing. We've had a lot of amazing people come to the show. What can we look forward to in season two?
Guys, I don't think I'm actually even ready for season two as well, because the people that have actually agreed to come on season two, it's gonna be a well of
Honey,
wisdom.
honey.
I think for me, season two is just, it's everything, because I think season one was creating credibility, showing people, okay, this is a credible podcast, this is good, this is amazing. But season two, like, I'm gonna have all of my biggest mentors. If you know people that I idolize, you basically know the lineup. So I'm really so excited for season two. We're going bigger, and the episodes might be longer. And I know that maybe you're going to miss us and all of that, but go back to the old episodes, watch, comment. You can email info@Employment Wednesdays for topic suggestions or things that you'd like to ask in relation to career. And yeah, but I'm really so excited about it. Like, I feel like Employment Wednesdays will never be the same. Like, I think even now, when I look at its progress and its growth, I'm just like, honey, baby, you're growing too fast. Relax, But yeah, season two is gonna come in hot. It's coming in hot, hot. Yeah.
And when do we look forward to having season two? I'm not putting pressure.
We're just gonna be on a 1 month break, because I mean,
Okay.
August is my birthday month, and I love also downtime, So we're just gonna be on an August break, and then we're probably gonna be back on the first week of September. But also, again, just to keep you company, I am gonna be posting book reviews. So just on Wednesdays, I'm gonna post book reviews of books you can read, or whatever the case may be. So you won't be lonely and alone and stuff. But yeah, just for like 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair, right?
We can't wait to have you back. We're
Yeah.
already missing you before you even leave. Okay, so I have a few final questions. Yeah, so you can tell us what is the best advice you've been given,
On this platform, or just me?
just in general.
Cry.
Okay.
Yes, and you know why? Because we tend to say, when we have problems, we don't want to feel the feelings. We want the solution there and there. But guys, crying, like, sometimes just cry hysterically. Like, just cry. You will feel so much better. I think that's the best advice I've been given, because every time also I cry, I get to release every negative emotion, or even good emotions that I'm feeling. And after that, I feel so good, and I feel ready to take on the world. Cry and rest.
Your favorite quote?
My favorite quote. Um, it wouldn't be a quote, but it's a Bible statement. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Nothing
Oh,
is impossible.
that's one of my faves
Yes,
too.
I also love it as well. Yeah.
Okay. So since you mentioned that you're going to be giving us book reviews, I wanted you to list three books one has to read.
Oh my.
Just three.
Just three.
Just three, even if you're not a reader, just three.
Just three. Guys, I need you guys to read Michelle Obama, The Light We Carry. Whew, what a book. What a woman. The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. And then I need you guys to read Will. What a vulnerable man. What an honest. Guys, like, I feel like I really enjoyed Will, and any person can enjoy Will, because it frees you from the idea of perfectionism. It frees you from the idea of perfect relationships, perfect family. Like, it teaches you that dysfunction is okay. Like,
True.
we run away from imperfections, but imperfections are actually the actual gift. Like, literally. There's Will, and then Green Light by Matthew McKinney. Guys, a beautiful book. Like, you will laugh, cry, and yeah. So, The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama, Will by Will Smith, and then Green Lights by Matthew McKinney. Those are my three top recommendations. Any day, anytime.
Your favorite podcast?
Aye, guys. Lay obvious. I would have said Employment Wednesdays, but you know
No.
where it's 8, Wisdom and Wellness.
Yeah, you are crazy about wisdom and
They can get
wellness.
it any day, anytime. Like right now, I'm insanely excited about like the producer's cut because I feel like that's when Bumi gets to be he itself. I love it so much. But yeah, Wisdom and Wellness like is the core of my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another podcast you'd recommend other than your fave?
And Sisters in Conversation for upcoming women. It gives you legal education. They have workshops and all of that. So Sisters in Conversation. And then by the time we get back, I don't know if I'm gonna say this so that somebody can actually just get on her feet and start working. There's gonna be a podcast called Smoothies and Coffee. So Smoothies and Coffee is one of them. Nihambe research. If it's not there, you must look for Brilliantine_N on Instagram and ask her where the podcast is.
Ambush.
But yeah, that's it.
No, thank you so much, Yvonne, for giving me this time to get to interview you on your own show and for us to get to know you on a personal level and get to know a little bit more about Employment Wednesday, about law, and about, life in general. Thank you so much for having me. It was much more easier than I thought.
You see,
Yeah.
it really just gets rolling because it's conversation. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for agreeing to do this.
I hope I did it right, guys.
We'll let them judge in the comment section to say
Yes.
how did they find this episode. But yeah, guys, it's all love, it's all light from me. Don't run away. Like guys, like I said, I'll post book reviews, but you can always go back and watch previous videos. When I come back, I don't want to see the views dwindling because I have been gone. I want you guys to stay consistent, stay sharing the podcast and don't forget, guys, on Spotify, please rate the podcast like 5 stars. Lynn, I want to make charts. I want to be on top 100 as well, so please rate it, recommend it, share it, and yeah.
Okay, guys, please rate Employment Wednesday on also on podcast now on Apple and rate it, give it 5 stars so that we can see this baby grow and grow. And thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in to watch and listen to Yvonne. And yeah, till next season.
Thank you guys. Till next season. And guys, if you're starting your podcast, you must come to Sense Studios because that's where it's a home for all creatives. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love you all. Always remember that you are never alone. You're always gracefully anchored. God bless.
Thank you. Bye.